Hello everyone, just a quick update before the video starts. I wasn't originally going to upload this video because it's the 2nd of September now and Jagex have announced this blog. And they've reverted or modified some of the changes that they made on the 1st of September. Now these clips that I'm about to show you in this video were recorded on the 1st of September after the initial balance and bug fixing changes. And it was going to be to showcase that even though they've nerfed the raid, you can still do it in 2mm gear at normal mode. As I said, I wasn't going to upload this because of the changes. However, I've been getting some comments like this. So I'm still going to upload it and hope you enjoy it. Now bear in mind, this is much like the other budget run, but this time it's got all of the changes including the 5-core Warden, which is proof that this is after the 1st of September changes. Now again, this raid has been buffed again. They have reverted or modified some of the changes. You can see that in the blog post in the description. So whatever you see in this video will be easier now, whether it's due to more supplies or less damage or more core phases, stuff like that. So if I can do it here, while the raid was a lot harder yesterday, you guys can do it too. Let's roll it. Okay everyone, hello, and we are back with Tombs of Amascut Budget Edition. The difference this time is that it's the 1st of September 2022 and a giant balance and bug fix patch has just gone in. Now I have made a video on this, you can find that in the description and the comment section. Other than that, I have already done a budget video and it really popped off. People wanted the experience to know that if they didn't have max gear they could still do the raid to a certain extent on normal difficulty. And I think I achieved that and motivated a lot of people. But with the patch today, the community is going in an uproar about it because they've essentially made the raid harder at 150 Invocation. But I'm here today to show that it can still be done. Now I've not checked to see if it can still be done. This is going to be my first try, but I know we can do it. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. Trust me. I am max stats, but as long as you've got 90 plus, I reckon this is doable if I can do it. We'll see how many supplies are left at the end. But it has had a lot of nerfs, so let's see how it goes. I'm using the exact same setup as last time. However, this time I've bought a D-sword. The reason that I've bought the D-sword is that it still keeps it under 2mm, so it is still under a 2mm budget for this run. And last time I was main-handing the Kephri. As you can see, a D-sword has 18 melee strength and 7 stab bonus extra, and because Monster Examine came out with today's update, we now know that all of the monsters that you melee are weak to stab. So I forked out for a D-sword. Invocation wise, we'll run the exact same as last time. Now the only one that I wasn't sure of last time was Quiet Prayers because it makes prayers 10% less effective, but we did it last time and it worked, so we'll try it again. If we do a run and fail, I'll take Quiet Prayers off and add some different boss invocations. I think that's fine. Let's get on with it. Like I said, the aim of this is to try and motivate people that this update isn't the end of the world. Honestly, almost all of the things in this patch I appreciate and I think are going to make this raid healthier overall. But there's just a few things I might need to tweak still. However, again, don't give up. It's a really fun piece of content and I want as many people to experience it as possible. Because if not, then what's the point in the content existing, you know? Let's see what we can do. Now, last time I did Zebak into Barber first and then got the overloads afterwards. This time I think I'm going to go Zebak into Kephri. Because I think I want the overloads for Barber because I'm going to try using a D-sword in it this time. Like I said, in my normal runs I buffer it. But now the stats have come out, it's actually got 200 range defense, so even though I was MVPing sometimes with a buffer, that's just because it's really accurate. A KCB is not going to do the same. So let's send Zebak. I didn't put any time invocations on this raid because I might want to talk about a lot of the things that I'm doing, so I'm just going to chill and take my time. It's not about going speedy. I'm dumb, I've screwed up already. I forgot to put water in the damn plant. Who does that? See, budget run equals scuffed run, but it's fine. Beat the croc. Oh, we just beat the croc in time. That was lucky. Okay, now, as this is post-patch, before each boss, I'm just going to give a brief overview of things that could affect our run. For Zebak, all they've really changed is they've made the jugs easier to use, which is a good thing, but they've raised its base hit points by about 10%. So in budget gear, this kind of does affect the run, because 10% more health means we've got to be in the fight for 10% longer, meaning we are going to take more damage. So let's see how this plays out. Again, I have got thralls because they do help out a lot in budget runs, and I've got no need for barrage. One thing about the KCB is it's got a shorter range. So with today's update, you can actually hit a jug and the boss at the same time. For example, do you see that I could hit the jug and the boss a tick later? That helps out a lot on the wave phase, especially in budget runs. I have forgotten anti-poison again and an anti-venom, but I'm going to try and send the run without it. We'll see how it plays out. The last time I did this video, I also forgot the anti-poison and anti-venom, so shame on me, right? The main thing that I noticed about last run and last time we did this was that super restores are a lot more valuable. You use a lot more of them here. And that's due to the longer fights. So it's just the nature of it. And now it's enraged, it's not going to do any more specials, so let's just pray. I accidentally just screwed up there, so I'll drink some pots. And that is the back down. Now, we did screw up at the end, and I ate even though I didn't need to. But we only used 3 doses of brute and 4 doses of restore, so honestly, that room's just a huge success, even still. Budget gear's better than you think. Now comes a fun one. We'll do Kephri next. That's because I've got the Keris, so with a super combat pot, it should still be a pretty decent kill. In budget gear, this is probably the room that's the least different to main gear, and the main problem's the scarab swarms that heal. And then we can send these 2 with an overload if we have enough supplies. But they've changed that, we'll speak about that when the spirit comes. And here we are at Kephri. Now, Kephri is the only boss that got no balance changes at all. It just adds some bug fixes. These include the blue scarab nullifying damage and teleporting away quickly, and the exploding bugs that fly at you and explode are now more consistent in when they come and do that. That's basically it, so this shouldn't change at all. Let's just drink our pot and get in there. Again, same advice as last time, when you get dunged, stick it all on a diagonal. You can ignore the eggs and kill the minions as quickly as possible. Now, with a KCB, I'm not sure I can really deal with the healing scarabs, but I'll try anyway on the first phase. Let's find out and see how it goes. Honestly, for a budget run, this is the easiest boss by far. It just feels like you're doing it with normal gear. Now let's see how this goes. So now the scarab swarms start coming. KCB has a higher reach than a blowpipe, but it's got a slower attack speed, so this can start becoming a problem. Also, this is another room where not having an anti-poison poses a problem. On the bright side, it's dealing with the swarms very well so far. I'm going to miss that one, and now they're going to start coming in a little bit quicker. The poison in this room is also a little bit more deadly, so I've got to be a little bit careful, look. If I can do this while forgetting anti-poison, it proves even more that it's doable. Again, we can ignore the eggs because the scarabs only deal range damage and don't really do much even with the prayer off. And on this phase, we're going to ignore the healing scarabs because we need to make sure that the blue minion dies. This one over here. If not, you take a lot of damage, and that can use a lot of supplies. Okay, and we are good. I guess we can choose to kill a couple of shields now, but I don't think it's going to make much difference at this point. And now the fight's just straightforward. Dodge fireballs and smack Kephri. And as you can see, even in this gear, the Keris is very accurate. But we bought the D-Sword along for the next 2 rooms. Let's see how this goes, I'm really interested. Last time we did this, we actually tried KCB on Barbar. Didn't work out that well, and then we had to try using the Keris. So now I've just got a better stab weapon, so it should technically go better. Now, this is the part of the raid that'll impact budget runs the most. The helpful spirit and the mid-raid loot. Now, as I'm sure you're already aware from the backlash from the community, Ambrosia and liquid adrenaline are now 1-dose potions, and when you claimed from it this morning as soon as the update hit, it had dropped 1 ambrosia at a time sometimes, which is just 1 dose, bear in mind. Now they've hotfixed it so it drops 2 minimum, but at the minute it's going to use 1 dose per inventory slot, so this is just a waste of inventory slots technically. However, in the next cold fix, they said they're going to be making this a 2-dose potion, but you only get 1. It's the same for liquid adrenaline, this only has 1 dose now. And the most important change that's kind of screwing people up, including me right now, is that there's no longer a liquid adrenaline and an ambrosia in 1 pack. Now before the player was kind of take 2 powers, right? But now you've got to make a choice. I'm probably going to go life here just because I've still got some combat pots and range pots and I'm doing a budget run, so more health works. But the play would be to at least grab this bucket to get the smelling salts. The problem with that is that if I grab this bucket now, this bucket also can't have ambrosia in. Ambrosia now only shows up in life. So if I take the chaos bucket, I have to pick next time between an adrenaline or some ambrosia. And I need the adrenaline for the core phase on the Wardens because they've recently nerfed that as well. You actually only have 18 ticks to do damage, so you have 5 attacks basically. So if I don't take the liquid adrenaline, it's going to be a 4 or 5 phase Warden P2, so I really need that. So with these supplies right now, I'm actually going to opt for this route. I've decided. I know it's risky not taking more supplies like this, but I have got 6 brews left and some restores. So taking this should hopefully be beneficial with the smelling salts. Let's try it out. Now I really want to go test this sword out on Baba, so let's go do that. Last time I showed this path, but I'm not going to this time because we know what it looks like. I might take some damage here and I'll let you know at the end if I do. There has been a change to this, which is that the waves are now more consistent. You get 100 potions, which is kind of pointless. Also in solos, on waves 4, 5 and 6 there's 1 less monkey spawn, so technically this room's become a little bit easier. Let's send it. I do have to be very careful not to get venomed here, because if I get venomed I do not have an anti-venom, and venom hits a lot. This is the last room that can poison me however, so if I can get past this, it means that not bringing the anti-venoms has not killed my run. Now I've just got to finish off the monkeys and we're done. Again, just like last time, I said I should have brought chins, but I weren't sure if they were worth the inventory slot because you don't really take any damage at this point, but they are useful. Anyways, boss time. We did use a few supplies there, as you can see, but nothing that should make this impossible. As long as we can survive through this, we're going to be okay. And here we go, trying out Barber with a D sword. Let's send this. Gotta be careful not to take any unnecessary damage here. I don't have many prayer pots left either, so I should really flick piety, but... Was I using a dragon dagger a minute ago? In my head for some reason, I think I was just using a dragon dagger. What is going on? Okay, KCB here 1 hits now. It didn't 1 hit on the last budget run, I'm pretty sure, but this time I've got the smelling salt, so... I'm getting pretty concerned about my prayer for Akkha though. Maybe I should have took the life bucket. That way I would have definitely had enough supplies for this. Okay, this should be it. The question is, can we do Akkha with 2 brews and 2 doses of restore? I actually don't think we can. I kind of really wish I took life now, or at least saved some restores. This is going to be troublesome. Well, I may as well give it a go anyway. Wish me luck. Again, I have got the D pick in here. This does not affect the rooms, so I really don't mind having this. It's still a 2 down with a room pick. I tested it. Okay, honestly, I'm not hopeful for this. For the first phase, we're going to run it around the room to save a little bit of damage. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this one. Let's send it. I'm really concerned about the super restore. That's the main issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pray protection prayers. I'm not going to pray any damage. Let's see how this goes. I will say the D sword is performing a lot better than the Keris. And I'm not praying piety this time, remember. Okay, and we are now out of restores and have 1 brew. So on this final phase, we need to not get hit by any orb. They did make the orbs hit harder on this fight. That's one of the things they patched today. So they've buffed and nerfed the orbs for this. The orbs hit harder. However, they also have a problem, which is they spawn less. So they should theoretically be a little bit easier to dodge if I'm very careful. If I just take it slower than normal, I should theoretically be able to dodge all of these. Whew, okay. Room done. So I managed to complete it, but all I've got left is a dose of brew, smelling salts and adrenaline. The good thing, however, is that now I can take the life. What are the chances it's actually got an ambrosia in? I don't think it's every time. Okay, it does. This life is looking really juicy. We might be in with a chance here. I do think if I ran this again with budget gear, I'd have to use the super combat pot and ranging pot and take the life at first. But again, that might be the incorrect thing to do. Something to remember is that these ambrosias are only 1 dose now. So I only have 2 shots with this ambrosia. Now I am going to eat these smelling salts, and I've got 2 liquid adrenaline still. I never actually used one. That could really help out. I'm going to take all this out because we're going to need it. And wish me luck on this one. The Warden fight. Now what I did before for the obelisk was that I used the KCB. I'm not sure what I'm going to do this time, but I'll try the KCB first and we'll see how it goes. Now before we enter this fight, the patch today actually had a lot of changes to Wardens. Now, first of all, I'm only going to mention the ones that actually matter. So, when you're killing the core, before you had, I think it was 25 ticks, which meant you got 7 attacks in normally, right? Sometimes 8. They reduced it by 7 ticks, so now you only get 5 hits in if you tick perfect. Bear that in mind. With a 4-tick weapon at least. They've also increased the Warden's hit points during phase 2 for high scale groups, but for me that doesn't matter. If you're doing the budget gear with a team, it will matter, so bear that in mind. Also, on the final phase of the fight, when you do the skulls on the floor, it damages the boss. In a solo at 150, this used to damage the boss for 100, but now it damages it for a 70, so I have to deal more damage to the boss myself. And then, on the final fight, they've increased the base hit points, reduced the time allowed for the skulls, which shouldn't matter because there's no difference between budget gear and normal gear. And they reduced the magic level of it, so T-Bow hits less. But again, that's irrelevant for us. So, let's just send this. It's worth noting, I am going to be tanking this side again, so we get the magic version of this first, so we can mage it, and that's because I feel like the Trident's the most damage that I'm going to get. The problem is Mystic is low defense, so I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm going to summon a Thrall, and then put Rigor on, and we'll begin, and let's just send it. I'm going to keep KCB on, because it seems like it's probably going to do the most DPS out of what I've got. Now the problem with budget gear here is that this is slower, which means you are going to take the guaranteed damage off the orbs on each side. So now it's going to fire these ones that in teams you're meant to split on, but I'm going to take a guaranteed, I think it's 28 damage. Yep, 28, and if I don't kill this fast enough, then I'm also going to take damage from this side. Theoretically, I should have DDS Spectre here, but we'll see how it goes. I just avoided it. Okay, so far so good. I will keep the entire fight in the video, but speed it up a little bit, just in case people are interested how much damage I actually take. Now watch, if I hit this on the ticket spawns, I only get 5 hits in now. This is going to be at least a 3-phase Warden. 5. And you don't get the 6th hit. I am going to have to use an Ambrosia there because I absolutely screwed up on that. I took so much damage. That could be a big problem. Hopefully not. Okay, down number 2. Sup another Adrenaline. We'll get 4 specs in here. And then a D sword stab. And then hopefully 5 D sword stabs win next time. Ooh, this is so stressful. Especially talking at the same time makes it a lot harder. Before, I would have had 4 doses of Ambrosia, so using it here wouldn't have been a big deal. But now I've only got 1 left for the final fight. Please tell me this is the last down, I'm begging you. 1, 2, 3, should be 4, and 5. Okay, we are done there. Now, final phase time. I don't have too much, but let's put the KCB on and see what we can do. The stats came out for this final fight, and it's only got 20 range defense, so this should be absolutely fine to use. I just need to not make any mistakes. Now this is a part that used to do 100 damage, but if I kill all these skulls, it'll only do 70 watch. So we have to deal an extra 30 damage to the boss. It seems negligible, but it adds up. We have 7 doses of Brute and 1 Ambrosia. And now we need to start reactively praying to Zebak. Now, Barbar spawns and we have to make sure that we're dodging all of his stuff on the floor. And we're nearing the end of the fight, so I'll summon another Thrall so I don't forget. Here we go, final phase. Holy. And I'm screwing up here, so I'm just going to be quiet for a minute and see if we can actually clear this. Uh-oh. And that's it, boys. So close. Now, honestly, this is a lot harder, as you can see. But it is 100% doable. So, I am going to go and send one before the video ends. And we're going to get a completion. I'm not going to show all the other fights, but this time I am going to take life second, so we do have a better time on the other bosses. I'm going to leave for now, and I'll send another one. If anything fun happens, I'll record it. Now again, I didn't clear this first time, I did last time. So not clearing it here, in my eyes, kind of proves it's harder, but it is also nighttime and I am tired, so I took a lot more damage than I should have on that last fight. And I had to use the Ambrosia on P2. If I had the second Ambrosia, I would have done it. So, I don't want to end this video like this. I want to end the video with a completion to prove to anyone that's undergeared that they can do it if they put in the time. So I'm going to take this exact same setup, I'm going to send it again, and we'll see where we get to. Okay, so it's the next morning, I'm nice and awake. We're going to run the exact same invocations as we just did, so we're not actually going to take quiet prayers off just yet. I want to see if it's doable with it, which it definitely is, because again, I didn't screw up on P2 and Panic Ambrosia, then we would have had that. So let's try again. I'm probably going to skip straight through to the Wardens fight unless something cool happens. As I explained before, the changes to these are that Ambrosia in this pool and everything else is in this pool. Now this time, Chaos actually looks tempting. I was set on life here, but Chaos actually has the smelling salts and the adrenaline and some extra potions. So I think I'm going to go with that this time because it does have the extra restore, so we're not going to run out. It's actually rare for this to show up in here now. So if it didn't, I would have definitely took life in a budget run. But for the simple fact this is here, I'm going to take Chaos now and life later. A Barbar with no mistakes is a Barbar with no supplies used. We've used 1 dose of restore and maybe a little bit of brute. In fact, I'm not even sure we've brewed. I don't think we've really been hit by anything. This is definitely a doable boss in 150 Invo without taking any damage. Or at least very little. This genuinely feels like a fast kill. 3 minutes. Last time it took like 5.5. Nice. Look at those supplies. We can't do it here, we can't do it at all. Now again, I'm going to record the entirety of the Warden fight, because this is the part where I screwed up last time. I need to take no damage. I had a thought as well. On the P3 of the last Wardens fight I did, I was tired, but if I just DDS spec'd, I think I had 100% spec, I could have easily done it because it survived on like 30 health. Oh, I'm an idiot. I am such an idiot. This is going to be a 3 downer. I've not even used salts. Two, 3. Nice. We can do this. 2 Ambrosia doses, a load of prayer restore, and a few brews. And we are done. Attempt number 2 in the bag. Now, I did still have 2 brews and some restores left, but I did use the second dose of Ambrosia because I took a risk. However, the time is not that bad. It's only 9 minutes under my PB look. So with budget gear, it's not like you're going to be doing slow runs all the time, not completely slow at least. There's definitely possibility for improvement here as well. I took a lot of unnecessary damage. Let's go see if we got lucky. Never lucky. Might get a jewel though? Nope. Anyways, let's do the outro here again. As you can see, this is obviously the gear that I've got on. This cost 1,970,000 as you saw in the thumbnail. With the runes and bolts though included, it's like 2.3 mil. But if you take the runes and the rune pouch and the bolt racks out, it's under 2 mil. And obviously you don't need all these. Honestly, this is a little bit harder than before the patch, as expected. However, the time that I just got was 5 minutes faster. So there's clearly something that I'm doing right there. Again, it's within a 10-minute range of my PB, which is like with Burfa, Sang. So it's not that bad at all. You can still do this. Don't let the patch notes put you off. I made a lot of mistakes, as you could probably see in the clips, and that's why I died the first run as well. Like I said, if I just sent some DDS specs on the first Warden, it would have died too. I could probably clear this every time. So you guys can get to a point where you can clear it every time too. If anyone's got any ideas for budget runs like this, or you want to see other videos, or you want to see a budget run on like 200 Invocations to see if it's possible, which might be very hard, but I'm down to try. Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe. Join the Discord server if you want. Love you and leave you, and I'll see you next time. Remember, budget raids are fine. Go be a gamer, and go test your limits.